chaos in the Rajya Sabha. The farmer bills are through but under very controversial circumstances. Take a look.
Rare scenes in Parliament today as two controversial farm reform bills were passed on the first Sunday on which Parliament functioned. The opposition was demanding a show of strength and wanted voting on sending the bill to a select committee, supported in this move by parties like the TRS and the Biju Janata Dal. But when the deputy chairman continued the proceedings and passed the bill by voice vote, there was pandemonium.
Derek O'Brien tried to tear the rule book. Show me one piece of footage of me tearing a rule book, I'll quit my post as MP. I never did, but I showed him the rule book. This government did not expect this kind of opposition, so they denied us a chance to have a division.
Ruckus happened because of the deputy chairman. He's responsible for what has happened today. BJP does not have the numbers inside. He just had a voice vote over there.
Now opposition members have moved a no-confidence motion against Deputy Chairperson Harivansh for not following the rule book and pushing through the legislation. And you all are moving a no-confidence motion against the Deputy Chairperson?
Notice has already been given.
Once a resolution is given by more than 20 people, the deputy speaker cannot sit in the chair till it is settled.
During the debate on the bill, several opposition leaders accused the government of privatization and abolishing the minimum support price. But the centre defended itself.
मैं प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की कृषि, किसान और एमएसपी के प्रति जो नियत है उसकी तरफ आपका ध्यान दिलाना चाहता हूं। लगातार इस दिशा में एमएसपी की बढ़ोतरी हो रही है।
Immediately after the passage of the Farms Bill, the Prime Minister tweeted even in Punjabi to reassure farmers that the MSP system will continue and government would procure food grains. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi tweeted saying the farmer who grows gold from the earth is forced into tears of blood due to the arrogance of the Modi government. Democracy is ashamed because of the manner in which the government issued death orders against farmers in the form of an agricultural bill in the Rajya Sabha today. The government accuses the opposition of doing Gundaism in the Rajya Sabha. The opposition in turn accuses the government of saying that they were trying to avoid a vote. Either way, it's a new law and unprecedented and leaves a very sour taste for our democratic system. With camera person Ashwini, Sunil Prabhu, NDTV.
Well, we've got a huge panel today, packed, but all of them very relevant to this debate. Dr. Amar Singh, Lok Sabha MP of the Congress, Raghav Chadha of the Aam Aadmi Party, Avik Saha of the Jai Kisan Andolan, Virendra Singh Mast, BJP MP and National President of the BJP's Kisan Morcha joins us as well. Prateek Som of the JJP and partner of the BJP in Haryana, Kalikesh Singh Deo of the BJD, and Geeta Bhatt, political analyst. I'd like to thank all of you very much for joining us. Dr. Amar Singh, firstly, what happened in terms of the chaos in the Rajya Sabha? At one stage, apparently, a rule book was nearly torn, mics were shifted. You may disagree with the farm bill, but do you also disagree with the conduct of some MPs?
I don't agree. You know what happened in Lok Sabha, also in Rajya Sabha? They were under so much rush. They're not ready to listen to us. We were raising questions, we were raising that why you are not putting MSP into these three acts. Then nobody was listening, just voice vote, and then they passed it. So there must be some people who are really agitated, and they agitated. It's a democratic country, people have to be heard.
Democracy doesn't allow that sort of behavior, right? So my question is, does the Congress condemn that sort of behavior?
No, I'm not, because I'm not party to that behavior. So I'm not Rajya Sabha member, so I've not seen it personally.
No,
so commenting leader, on
I asked
that
you in
would
that
be
capacity.
Really impersonal.
Okay. I want to go across to Kalikesh Singh Deo. Kalikesh, the bottom line over here, should there have been a division of votes? Where does the BJD stand on this issue? Because I believe the BJD was not necessarily opposed to this going to a standing committee first. So two issues. Did you believe that, or do you believe that this should have gone to a standing committee? And secondly, should there have been a division of votes?
Vishnu, it's very clear as per the rules of the House that when the opposition wants a division of votes, They have to get one. It's not a question of somebody's perception or discretion. The fact is that if the opposition at any point of time wants a division, the speaker or the chair has to give them a division. Then that's the rule of the House. Unfortunately, what's been happening the last decade or so is that rules have been blatantly violated and flouted by those in the chair with blatant disregards for parliamentary decorum. And that's unfortunate for Parliament as a whole. It's not about who's in government, because governments change. Who's in the government today will sit in the opposition tomorrow. And this kind of a strong hand by the executive should be condemned. I think this is something which is of a much larger debate. As far as this bill is concerned, I think somewhat in Lok Sabha and certainly more vociferously in Rajya Sabha, our party definitely opposed the bill, or at least questioned many facets of the bill, especially the ones where the farmers or marginal farmers would have an unequal power of negotiation with large corporates. And the fact is that this is the first step towards dismantling the APM and the MSP system. Otherwise, there is no need to bring it in at all. If you have a fixed price, if you have an MSP or an APM, then the corporates can very well buy from the APM mandis at that price. The fact is you're allowing corporates to negotiate with farmers directly, which means there is a give and take, and farmers would be at a disadvantage. So when the Biju Janata Dal wanted it to go to standing committee for further deliberation, I think the government should have allowed it. I don't see the hurry about. I mean, it's not as if the farmers or the corporates will be left high and dry if they're not allowed to buy it for the next 1 month or 2 months from farmers directly.
One sec, I just want to go across to Virendra Singh, the BJP MP and National President of the BJP Kisan Morcha. Sir, thank you very much for joining us. Sir, division of votes opposition मांग रहे थे, तो इस division of votes में मुसीबत क्या था? वीरेंद्र जी सुनाई दे रहा है?
थोड़ा और साफ तेज करिए।
नहीं, वीरेंद्र जी मैं आपसे ये पूछ रहा हूँ, डिवीजन ऑफ वोट्स चाह रहे थे ऑपोजिशन, तो राज्यसभा में डिवीजन ऑफ वोट्स में क्या दिक्कत थी?
राज्यसभा में, लोकसभा में जिस तरह के, वो तो पीठासीन अधिकारी का काम है कि वो कैसे कानून पास कराते हैं, वो मेरा का अधिकार थोड़े है।
नहीं, पर ऑपोजिशन अगर डिवीजन ऑफ वोट्स चाहते हैं तो डिवीजन ऑफ वोट्स आप देते क्यों नहीं? डेप्यूटी स्पीकर को देना नहीं चाहिए था।
वो मेरा
नहीं, आपका नहीं, मैं सिर्फ आपका राय पूछ रहा हूं। मुझे पता है कि ये आपका हाथ में नहीं है, मैं आपका राय पूछ रहा हूं इस बारे में।
नहीं, आपको नहीं, ये जब ध्वनिमत से कानून लोकसभा में पारित हुआ, ध्वनिमत से राज्यसभा में पारित हो रहे हैं, तो पीठासीन अधिकारी के अधिकार को हम चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं। आपको अधिकार है तो करते रहिए।
Okay, let me go back to Dr. Amar Singh. The point that's being mentioned over there is that, you know, it's happened in a particular way. You can't question it, and yet the opposition has chosen to push for a no confidence motion against the deputy speaker. What do you believe, sir, is the legal ground? Is there a legal ground on which, or a constitutional ground on which, the deputy speaker deputy chairperson can be challenged on this issue?
I would like to request you first that the two arguments which have been coming from BJP, Honorable Minister also, Honorable Prime Minister also, कि ये गलत जा रही है, MSP जारी रहेगा. I just wanted to answer these questions first, then we can take,
no,
because
sir,
we are discussing the farmer issues.
Can you please answer my question? We'll talk about MSP in a while. Because you see, there are very serious constitutional issues over here. The BJP says it's up to the deputy chairperson what they do. But you are suggesting that, in fact, there is a ground in which he is wrong. So can you please reflect on this particular point that has been mentioned by the BJP, that it's up to him, you really can't have any say in this matter?
No, but he has, I mean, the chairperson of both the houses have discretion. But if there is a written law, if there is a written rule, then even the chairperson has to follow that. And most probably, though I was not present there, the deputy chairman, honorable deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha didn't follow the written rule when the opposition is demanding a vote. I think he should have allowed the vote. The same thing happened in Lok Sabha. We were asking for something and just it was passed like that.
Okay. Raghav, the bottom line over here is the support which the BJP claims it had in the Rajya Sabha. The Trinamool Congress have alleged that, look, they never had this sort of support. This was pushed through, and perhaps a division of votes needed to have taken place to prove the numbers. Is that what you believe as well, that perhaps the BJP or the NDA did not have the numbers?
Well, Vishnu, a few questions arise from today's proceedings in the Rajya Sabha. Question number one, if the Bharatiya Janata Party had the numbers, if they had the simple majority required to pass this legislation, why was the Bharatiya Janata Party not willing to debate this bill in the first place? Why did they reduce the debate time that was allocated for an important discussion where every member of the House wanted to discuss this bill threadbare? Number one. Number two, if they had all the answers, Vishnu, why did the Bharatiya Janata Party not permit this bill to be sent to a select committee? On most occasions, when a critical legislation like this is presented before the House, because of paucity of time, these bills are sent to a select committee where discussions happen, threadbare, depositions happen, farmers are called, all stakeholders are called, and a report is prepared, which is then subsequently presented in the House. Even this was not allowed by the chairperson and the Bharatiya Janata Party. And lastly, when the Bharatiya Janata Party bulldozed and presented this bill, wanted to put this to vote, a DMK MP along with several other MPs moved a motion seeking division of votes. As per parliamentary procedure, as per parliamentary convention, even if a single member of the House seeks division of votes, the division of vote has been granted on every occasion. Today being a very historic day because the parliament was sitting on a Sunday, it will perhaps be remembered for the worst crime that has been committed in India's parliamentary democracy, where the chairperson disregarded the demand of several opposition members to put this vote to this bill to division, and he steamrolled the entire process. And even when there was ruckus in the House, when it was probably not even possible for the chairperson to understand whether the vote is in favor or in
for more
against.
than 10 minutes, right?
He did not adjourn. He did not let the discussion conclude. And lastly, he did not even conduct that voice vote properly. He said that I'm going to seek a voice vote. Even that voice vote was not conducted. It was a sham.
Okay, one second. Let me get Geeta Bhatt to come in over here. Geeta, you know, again, the issue is of constitutional propriety. There are several instances which have been stated over here in how this was pushed through. Do you not believe that there needs to be a real process to look at how this happened today? Because this seems to be, at so many levels, a violation of parliamentary norms.
Well, Vishnuji, common people who are watching all this happening in the parliament, at least two things which strike is that although this was a historic day, historic bills were passed, but at the same time, it was also a very unfortunate day in the Indian parliamentary democracy, seeing the kind of unruly behavior, rather unbecoming behavior on the part of parliamentarians with the deputy chairperson, which we all have noticed. And it was rather a very, fascist mindset of TMC and Congress and Communist Party representatives over there. Now, the fact is that, time and again it is being said that it should have been sent to the select committee. Why is it that the discussion or whatever positive interventions that they wanted in favor, as ostensibly said they wanted, in favor of the farmers, then that could have been put forth over there. That somehow did not happen. The whole idea was to, send it to the select committee. Now, the point is that the economic survey of 2019 and 20 shows that 76,000 raids were done based on the Commodities Act.
But Geeta ji, it's 2 points. No, they wanted it to go to the select committee. It never went to the select committee. They didn't want a voice vote. They didn't want a voice vote. They wanted a division. There was no division which took place either. I promise you, we will debate the merits of the farmer bill in a few moments. But what happened today in Parliament was wrong at so many levels. The violence was wrong. The scenes were wrong. But the fact that this was pushed through was wrong as well. Do you believe that there needs to be some sort of process to look at what happened? That what they're saying now, that there has to be a no confidence motion, that they put a no confidence motion against the deputy chairperson, that has strong merit?
Well, the kind of conduct that we saw inside the parliament, it is something which is quite questionable. The way they were charging on the deputy chairperson, even some of the marshals were attacked. We have also seen it in the audio visuals from the parliament. it is something that it is very important that in such a bill, which is such a crucial bill, there should have been a positive intervention by all the
right,
parliamentarians,
absolutely a positive intervention, but one also needs to ask about how this actually went through. So Kalikesh, let me ask you once, what happens now as far as the deputy chair is concerned? As the opposition doesn't have confidence in him, can there be business as usual unless this issue of confidence on him is resolved?
So it's highly difficult, Vishnu. Of course, it's quite clear that the deputy chair's actions were not in consonant with the rules of the business. And it's been yet another example of overarching influence of the centralized executive as we see across the country today. But it's very difficult to see that business will continue as usual in a position where the opposition is not, or opposition's views are not taken into account. Let's not forget, to run the house, in peace and in decorum, it's the responsibility of the government. They need to ensure that enough views of the opposition are taken into account so that the house runs smoothly. And this has been violated by the current central government. And unfortunately, I don't see much business happening now, which is sad because it's a very crucial time for India, both economically, health-wise, as well as now farmers' issues.
Okay. Prateek, so I'm confused about the position of the JJP. Your credentials are as an extremely strong farmer party, and yet you continue to back a bill which so many have raised questions on. Why do you believe, from the perspective of your party, it's still okay to back this bill?
See, Vishnu, since the beginning on discussions of this bill, my party was very clear that government should not and must not compromise on MSP. And then it was very well taken up by Honorable Prime Minister, and it was tweeted by him also that there will be no compromise on MSP. See, when we should see the macro view of this. Since independence, India is known as an agriculture-driven economy. So a common sense says that by this time, farmers should have been the king. But we have always heard about the farmer distress in this. And of course, we know that the middlemen have always prospered. The aartis, the stockists, the money lenders, they all have got their due. But farmers have been always a deprived lot. When this act is really empowering them, and when it is already giving them option of MSP plus wherever they want to go, then I don't know what is the problem of opposition, and also giving so much advantages.
But Prateek, can you just confirm that you enjoy the support of all of your leaders?
Private person can come,
because there are some reports which are suggesting, Prateek, that some of the leaders of the JJP are on the verge of resigning or have resigned.
No, there is absolutely, there is no basis to this rumor, and nobody has resigned till date. And my leader Dushyant Chautala has already spoken to the Chief Minister of Haryana that JJP would want that there should be no compromise on the MSP, and there should be the same provisions of this act which farmers were getting benefit post this act also. So okay. MSP is never compromised, and if they're getting all the advantages beyond this, then farmer, I don't know what is the problem in this. When the farmer is prospering, middlemen are eliminating. When the farmer is getting options of technology at his doorstep, a buyer at his farm gate, then I don't know why there is so much hula in this.
Okay.
It is all driven by opposition, okay. Vishnu.
So
my party's stand is very clear that MSP
it's not driven only by opposition. The Shiromani Akali Dal is part of the NDA. They've walked out with their minister as far as this is concerned. So there's dissension within the NDA of which you're a part.
See, that is up to Shiromani Akali Dal to comment upon, but my party has been very clear that there is absolutely no problem with ongoing of this act.
Okay, one moment. I just want to get into some of the substantive issues as far as the farm bill bills are concerned. Avik Saha has been listening very, very patiently on this. Mr. Saha, the goal over here is at one level to create an ecosystem to enhance what farmers actually earn, to move beyond the local mandi, to ensure that there is one nation, one farmer, to bring in new technology. Ultimately, it is to bring more wealth to our farmers. If that is the goal, why, or do you believe that there is promise in what has been passed, or do you have concerns?
Oh, I have great concerns. I have been hearing about technology, one nation, all these goals right from the time of the soil card. Mr. Modi's performance on the farm sector is for everyone to see. Every historic announcement, every historic step has all fallen by the wayside. I have three concerns. The farmers were looking for price security, and these laws now give them price fluctuation. The farmers were given a solution that they were not looking for. The solution is bigger than the problem that the farmers are having.
Okay.
Besides, let's for a moment say Mr. Modi is right. If he believes that these laws will change the future of the farmers, shouldn't he have confidence in Parliament? Shouldn't he have discussed it with farmers? None of the stakeholders are on the table discussing this issue. And is there any iota of evidence that this has been actually tested at any scale to see if this works? So just because you create some laws which you describe as historic and you put it out and you force it through Parliament, you think everything will change.
Okay,
there
one moment.
No evidence
Geeta wants to respond to you. I'll come back to you, Avik Saha. Yes, Geeta, go ahead.
Yeah, Vishnuji, I just quick points I want to make. First is that there is a standing committee on agriculture of the parliament where there are 31 members all from across all the parties. They have submitted a report which says that APMC mandis are not doing any justice to the farmers. Secondly, there was a high powered chief ministers committee which was made, which also had, Congress chief minister and, H.D. Kumaraswamy was also a member in this. Their recommendations were there. So it is not that nothing was discussed and it was not, the people were not privy to the information of the changes that were being proposed. Also, when the finance minister had come out with the economic package exclusively for the farmers, at that time already announcement was made regarding the Commodities Act that it is supposed to be, there will be amendments.
Mr. Saha, you want to respond to that?
Which we did not know. Also, one small point I want to make, just 10 seconds.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, that is that, time and again it is being that the farmers are, being exposed where they will not get the right price. The point is that farmers now have an alternative, and if this is not lucrative to them, they always have the APMC mandi to go there. This is just an alternative choice for them.
All
so
right.
why is it all this commotion
and Mr. Saha, the point that's been mentioned, you're talking about security. The Prime Minister repeatedly says that MSP, the minimum support price, will be guaranteed. So why do you believe that that would not be the case?
Because it is not guaranteed. If the Prime Minister makes one law saying MSP is guaranteed, this debate ends. On the guarantee of MSP, he wants to issue a letter. On his so-called historic changes in the structure, he wants to formulate not one, not two, but 4 laws. So you see, this proves that they are incorrect. And what Geetaji was saying, the Chief Minister's Committee, Mr. Kamal Nath was in that committee. Is Mr. Kamal Nath a Chief Minister now? The ordinances were brought on 5th of June. This committee's report came way back in 2019, sometime in September, if I'm not wrong. So what was the crying urgency to form ordinances to make structural changes? I've never heard of structural changes coming through ordinances. Ordinances have to meet urgent, important issues when Parliament is not in session. You change the entire structure and APMCs will continue is an utter lie. Because if all the trading goes outside APMCs, then why should APMC exist?
Okay.
I'm not saying that APMCs were perfect. APMCs were very imperfect. And Mr. Modi himself has created a law to correct it. There is a Model APMC Act.
So, Pratik,
even Gujarat did not adopt it.
Pratik, one of the points, one sec, Mr. Saha, I just need to quickly add. Pratik, one of the points that has been mentioned is that big agri firms will actually come in and will dominate the small farmer, and that small farmer has no chance in actually being able to get his or her rights, whether it's maintaining their land rights or maintaining their financial security, when large companies come into the space which the government is ostensibly promoting. So therefore, the weak farmer wouldn't be able to tolerate this. How do you respond to this basic criticism?
That is not the case, Vishnu. See, it is up to the will of the farmer whether he will sell his produce to the private player or he can go to the mandi. See, I'll give you a small example. We have a lot of times seen that the farm produce gets wasted or gets destroyed. For example, if you talk about potato, there is so much potato at a given point of time that it gets destroyed. So when a processor or an aggregator come to a farmer and say that I have a cold storage facility, or I can preserve this for maybe the next season or for the some specific point of time, then they may match up to their requirements. They may get into a contract and he can give a better pricing than what a RT or a mandi person is giving to them, and they can directly contract with them. What is the problem in this?
Okay.
If he doesn't like the offer of that producer or that aggregator or the processor, he can directly go to the mandi and sell at the MSP.
Okay, so lots of points being stressed on both sides. I'm afraid I'm completely out of time on this particular debate. It's sad what happened in Parliament, whichever side of the debate you're on. Hopefully there will be more clarity on what this farmer bill actually achieves.